Range is the simplest measure of dispersion, simplest to understand and simplest to compute. We again consider the values of a variable along a number line. To compute the range, you look at the two extremes, the minimum and the maximum. The range is defined as the distance between them. More mathematically, if the values are x1 to xn, then the range is defined as the maximum of the x size minus the minimum of the x size. For example, if the numbers are 2.3, 4.6, 9.8 and 2.4, then the minimum is 2.3 and the maximum is 9.8. So the range is 9.8 minus 2.3, which is 7.5. Let's quickly learn to compute it using LibreOffice. So we are going to see how to compute range for this our familiar data set, agricultural land holding. Now unfortunately there is no single method by which you can compute range of a variable in LibreOffice, but that's not a problem. We can always compute it by using a formula because we can compute the maximum as well as the minimum. So let's try that. Suppose I click on some cell and write max. Max of what? Max of this particular column. From that I subtract min of the same column. So I type max, then B to the entire thing. I just clicked on the column heading, I get max and min and then hit enter and I get the range. So I basically have to write down the entire formula for that. Of course, I can make LibreOffice use the same formula in the following way. I can just select that particular column and then go here, data, and then go to the very last entry, statistics and descriptive statistics. If I select this item, descriptive statistics, then it will ask for a place where it is going to write down the result. So I will just click here. So it will dump the result here and I say OK. And immediately it gives me all the things. In particular, it also gives me the range, the same value 3400 that we had. Now let's just see how it computed this. If I click here, then it is showing me the way it computed it. It is indeed maximum of the B column minus minimum of the B column. That is precisely the way we computed it. Now let's just take a look at what happens if I slightly change my data set, whether it gets automatically updated. Suppose here is one NA. I am going to change it to something huge. Suppose I make it 10,000 and I hit enter. The moment I change it, you see this number changed and so did this number. So this function, min and max, they are updating things dynamically. If you change the data set in any way, the changes will be immediately reflected in the final result. So that's pretty simple. This is how you compute the range of any given variable. Now also observe that though I had got lots of NAs, that did not cause any problem, because whenever it sees that there are non-numeric things during computation of range as well as any other such quantities, any other such statistics, all those things are skipped. And we have already mentioned that if you want to know how many such cases are in actual use, you can look at this. This is obtained by using the command count, and that gives you the number. In this case, that number is, oops, I just typed something wrong, sorry. So now it became just goofed up, sorry. So it should be count, and I deleted it, count, yep, nope, no, single T. And that is 117. So there are only 117 cases that are being used for doing the computation.